Boy, do I have a deal for you. When you spend $50 on the site, you get a free Total War of your choice. $85 and you get the free new box of Emery bars with the new extra soft texture. You're gonna love those. And if you spend $105, you're getting War Games totally for free, our pre-game formula. That's actually $125 of free stuff with an actual $105 purchase. Plus, if you're going up to $150, you're getting free shipping. And we're not stopping there. You get 35% off at checkout with the coupon code WAR35. So go to redcon1.com and save today. All right, welcome back to the Readiness Report. This is number 30, and this is the Readiness Trials.
It's good that we have a new number. We're into the next set of digits, and what a way to do it.
Yeah, and today, Eric, we're going to not only announce the actual winners of the Readiness Trials for the big money, $100,000 we're giving away tonight. And then we're also going to announce the internal readiness trials for the guys and girls who competed here as part of the Redcon 1 team. We had about 20 or so people start. We had 9 people finish here in the office, hoping to win $10,000 internally. Because, we give away all this money. And we always hear from employees, well, what about us? Like, when do we get a chance to do it? So this was their opportunity to do it. And I'm excited to announce that as well.
Yeah, and I put up my 5,000 from last time.
Yep.
You put up 5,000, and then the interesting thing was the condition was 10 people had to complete it.
Yes.
So 9 did it. Everyone worked their ass off. So what we did is we split it into a male and female winner. So 5 and 5.
Nobody knows that internally, so they're all probably like, right now. If they're all, we have a lot of people watching. I can see right now live. I think probably at least a quarter of them are employees sitting at home, curious to see what's happening. Yeah.
So actually, you got more of a chance.
You got a better chance. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, and that's really the idea of this whole readiness trials. Is that it's like with the readiness trials, usually we have one big winner, and that's kind of it. Sometimes we've had in the past a few smaller winners, and I asked I did a poll of all the people and said the people that follow us on Instagram and Facebook, etc., and all the tier operators. I said, well, look, would you rather be one big winner, a $100,000 winner, or would you rather us spread it out between everybody? And it was almost, I would almost say it was unanimous. It may have been like 95% said it'd be better to spread it out and have more winners versus just one big winner, because they want a better shot.
Yeah, people feel that there's more of a chance they can win something from it, so more people throw their hat in the ring. It's like Ryan at Burger King. Instead of getting a double Whopper, he gets a bunch of little sliders.
Diversity. Yeah, diversity.
A lot of little small stuff.
So we gotta put this out here.
Oh, sorry, it was off camera.
Show the people you
steal my drink.
This is I'm not taking your drink, but I want to show the people the MRE. This is an actual MRE RTD. It's not a sample. This is the real damn deal. And it was 18 plus months in the making. And it's here. It's cold right here. It's yes.
Lots of stress.
Lots of money. Lots of money. It is a physical thing that is out there. Well, it's going to be really all over the world very soon. I mean, from Australia to Asia to GNC Vitamin Shop, the United States military, and everywhere else, and all these customers that purchased on the site right now. So I'm excited. It's worth putting it right there.
Yeah, it needs to be front and center. That's our hero today.
It really does. And to be honest, this is the thing that's going to pay for all of this money we're about to give away.
So it'd be like Mike's boat called Milk Money.
Yeah, literally, it is like a milk money. So, we're excited to give away the money. We love the fact that we can make a positive change on the world. Sports supplements, people don't really think of as like, hey, this is changing the world. And, I get that, but we've always wanted to be a purpose-driven company. And that was the plan from the beginning. And we have been giving money with the Redcon 1 Foundation. And before that, with our charitable donations to military families in need, veterans and active duty men and women. And we've been able to continue that through the readiness trials.
Yeah, that's the thing, it all starts, we always talk about this, it starts in the gym. Like, people go into the gym because there's something they want to change, whether it's from weak to strong, you know, overweight to thin. Like, it's just transformative. So that's where supplements can play a part, because it can help someone get to that place that they want to be. It's part of it. You know, there's its diet, it's the training, it's everything else, but it's part of it. So this is our way to play our part in helping that process.
And I think over the years of all the readiness trials, we've had, you know, I love to. I wish we would have told Johnny he's not ready for this, so I'm not going to blame him. But if I could show you all the people that have changed, that we've helped change, we've given the impetus, right, the start to say like, hey, you need to make a change. Here's the money to do it. And even the people that didn't win the money, the cool thing is, and we have thousands of people that did this one, the people that don't win the money don't regret it. They don't feel like, I wish I wouldn't have done it.
No one ever says, oh shit, I wish I didn't get in shape.
Nobody ever says that. And that's the cool thing, is that everybody are so excited that they were able to do it. Even if they don't win, of course they want to win. Everybody wants to win. But ultimately, if you don't win, they're still like, wow, I'm so glad that I did this. I changed my life. You guys gave us a reason to do it. And that's very gratifying. And while we maybe aren't, you know, curing cancer, the fact that we can these days especially help reduce obesity or reduce, you know, the diseases and issues that come with being overweight in a time where obviously being extremely overweight is more bad now than it could have been before. It's definitely a really cool thing to make a difference.
Also too, with so many people being cooped up, you know, you have higher rates of suicide. Right. So the gym, I mean, you know, as times I've had bad times in life, the gym's always the neutralizer. You go in, you kind of leave everything behind. So, you know, this gives people something to look forward to. I mean, like when I did it last year or earlier this year for the readiness trials, when I jumped, it's because I had to change something about my life. Like, you sent me that between that corporate video, and then you sent me the Halloween video when Dallas was with us.
Oh yeah.
And I was walking Jags. I was probably like 250 something at that point. And I was like, what in the fuck happened to me? Like, it was one of those moments where, you know, and it was
funny.
motivation.
It's funny that the video, our actual corporate, like, what have we achieved? Who is ready to come on video? I really didn't think you looked that fat in the video.
No. I looked in that video and I was like, I don't recognize that guy.
Yeah.
My eyes were puffy. My face was fat. My pants didn't fit. Like,
we need to do another one. Now that people are going to look at that and be like, who is this guy?
Who's this bearded fuck?
No, but now that I actually look back at it, because I talked to somebody today who's like, I watched your video, your corporate like video to see like what you were about. And I'm like, wow, it's so crazy looking at that video to like remind myself, like, you do look like a different person, literally.
Oh, no, I look at pictures. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, so that was what it took for you. And oh, look, there he is.
Oh, geez.
And you've come a long way since then, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm in better shape now.
Definitely, 100%.
Look at that midsection I had before. Whew.
Yes, look, there he is.
That is dope.
Thank you for pulling that up, Johnny. Well, you're better. You're way better there. Oh, there you are. Which one's your child? you, I don't know where you went to there. Show Eric. There you go.
Oh, shirtless.
Well, you look way better here, too. This is not like the before picture. This is an after picture from the diet.
Yeah, now I'm in better shape.
You're way better now. But that's. I mean, if you would have done that before, it really would have been bad.
I overdid cardio. I was so worried about getting my weight down.
Yeah,
I overdid cardio and just was burning up tissue. And
yeah, that's how it goes. Anyway, it was this whole thing. There he is. There he is.
That fat bastard. I eat because I'm sad. I'm sad because I eat. It's like that video.
This is actually a video. This is us in the environment.
Wow, seriously, I look like an old man. I mean, I'm an old man, but yeah.
Now you look less of an old man. That you mentioned that before. We were talking about how much. Wow, that's a good one to stop, Johnny. I look pretty good.
I look like Russell Crowe, fat as fuck.
Yeah, a gray-headed Russell Crowe. Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, you really do look different.
Yeah, that was bad.
We need to do another one. Plus, we have updates anyway on the company, so it's not that.
Imagine going to the warehouse again would be.
Yeah, so totally. We can go now. We can go to Tennessee.
Yeah, add that to it.
So let's go over, before we go over the prizes, before we're going to go to commercial break, I believe, before we actually start the actual announcing of the winners. But I will, before we even go into what people are going to win, I want to announce I'm very excited to have 3 tremendous judges. You know, when we thought about who we want to judge, there are a lot of, obviously, we're fortunate enough to know a lot of good people, great industry leaders and thought leaders inside of the fitness industry. But when I thought of like who would be a really good judge that knows physiques, right? quickly I thought of Milos and Chad. Chad Nichols is the diet doc.
Yep.
He trained most of the legendary bodybuilders at one point or another. Ronnie, Dallas as well.
Yep.
And Chad knows the physique. He also trained his own wife. Started with his wife, who's. How many times did she win the Olympia? 7 times?
Yeah, I can't remember. She kept winning so much.
She's 7 times, I think. 6 or 7 times. He'll tell us. But that's one of the multiple people that he worked with that have achieved, legendary status. And Chad to this day is a contest promoter and helps people prep. So he's a great one to have on the show. And then we have a legendary prep coach as well, but also a legendary bodybuilder, Milos Sarcev, who is, I would say they call him the mind, right? Is one of the most intelligent people in our industry in terms of experimentation, figuring out his own way to go, training people, even his training system.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the training system is more of like, because again, with training for flex for years, and then what of that carried over to that training, and probably what got left behind because it probably killed him when he did it before. So
he didn't want to do it anymore after Milos.
I heard Milos was militant. So
he told us some crazy Milos stories. And so Milos is not only an expert in physique, but also in training and diet and supplementation. So he covers all the bases. And also I've known both of these guys for I don't know, over a decade, more than a decade, who knows how long, and respected him for just as long. And then our new friend, who is Kenny Omega, who is the AEW wrestling star, the champ, right? He's the champ now, right? He's the champ right now, and now wrestling on Impact Wrestling as well. He made a guest appearance, right?
He did. He broke history, so he's been on 2 shows.
Worldwide star. I am becoming a wrestling fan. I was a wrestling fan in the 90s and early 2000s. And now that we're so involved and all the wrestlers love us so much and Redcon so much, I have no choice but to be a wrestling fan. And Kenny Omega is like the top of the heap.
Is that where you're wearing your underwear around the office today?
No, you don't have to tell everybody. Yeah. I wear my underwear and my boots, my high boots.
Well, it's funny, when I was on my call with Vitamin Shop today, they brought up Kenny, and
oh, really?
Arthur and his brother-in-law they're huge fans of his.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were like, he's like, hey, I hate to ask you, but can I get one of those shirts? Or
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's interesting how much it crosses over, because I personally get text messages from people that haven't talked to in a while, or people DM me on Instagram and say like, hey, Kenny Omega was wearing your shirt on TNT. And so when he wears the shirts, or when they announce Redcon 1 on TNT, the amount of people that reach out to me is mind-boggling. People that you wouldn't think will say like, oh, here's a screenshot it. We'll send me a screenshot of Kenny Omega on TNT. So we also have Kenny Omega, who's, while he's not a competitive bodybuilder, he is a huge bodybuilding fan. He was more excited to have Kai Green on the team than probably any other athlete.
That's great. That's awesome.
Most of them were it's kind of like half intimidated.
They're like, shit, they're going to my job.
Yeah, literally. It was kind of half and half. But Kenny was like so excited that he was on the team, and was so excited to meet him and work with him. And I know, maybe we have some plans of maybe having Kai do some wrestling.
Oh.
You never know. Or judging, or I don't know. He seemed like he was pretty into the actual idea of like getting up there and, beating some ass. But I was always thinking referee, Kai the referee, but who knows? You may see Kai
next phase
wrestling.
of his life.
Yeah, I mean, look, one thing that will definitely blow people away is putting him up there, Kai, in the kind of shape he's in now, with Kenny Omega and the rest of those guys at AEW. People will lose their mind because they've never seen anybody like that before.
It'd be interesting to see what the juxtaposition of, like, you have a wrestler and then you have a pro bodybuilder in the same space on TV, like what that would look like.
Well, I mean, obviously so Kai's a very athletic bodybuilder too. He's flexible, he can run, he can move. So he'd be better than 99% of them out there. But it will be interesting because Kai is 5'8", I would say. He said he's 304 right now, in fantastic shape. What? Oh, there's yesterday. Yeah. I mean, he came to the office, and I don't want to say he was ready to compete at the Olympia, but looked like he was maybe 2 weeks out from the Olympia, 3 weeks out. 304, quads cross-striated, glutes in, basically as good as I've ever seen Kai at the office a week ago or 2 weeks ago right now. I don't know why he looks like that, but he does. And so having him on in the wrestling ring with somebody like Kenny, who's probably, what do you think, 5'11", 205 or something maybe?
Ryan, probably.
Ryan, what do you know? What's the
He's
stats?
6 foot, maybe pushing 200.
Okay, so to see him on stage looking like that, it would in the wrestling ring, I think the wrestling fans wouldn't know what to do with themselves because they've never seen anything like this before.
Wasn't it Achim? I can't remember mispronounce his name. Achim Albrecht. He was married to one of the Hart sisters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Brett and Owen Hart's sister. He married, and he like had a small wrestling career, right? Yeah, crossover for bodybuilding.
So I want to hold it back to getting to the announcing the winners, and we don't want to hold up Chad, Milos, and Kenny too much. So I want to just, before we go to commercial break, to remind people, no commercial break?
Johnny wants to roll.
Well, he was ready to go. Johnny says he's ready to get the hell out of here. Well, I just figured we'd do it. Okay. All right, Johnny. All right. So the top 5 winners win $10,000 in cash.
It's a nice little chunk of change.
$10,000 in cash. Just so people know, that's top 5 get $10,000 in cash. Milos will tell you when he gets on here, $10,000 is the top prize at the smaller IFBB pro shows. You know, Darren Charles was the king of the $10,000 show, and he works out at our gym. Or trains people at our gym, whatever he's doing in there. But you see him in there, you know, he's winning. He won, I don't know, 15 or so shows.
He made the run up.
Milos is famous for competing in more shows than anybody. I think he may have got passed up by Dexter just recently, but you know, I believe he held the record for a long, long time as most shows he ever competed in the 80s, 81, 82 shows he competed in. So $10,000 for 5 people. Now the next best people, the next 5 winners win $5,000 in cash and $500 prize for the red contract.
Good chunk of money still.
And then the next 5, now we're talking about 15 prize winners. The next 5 win $2,500 in cash. That's like winning, every one of these guys, or in this case, girls or guys, winning the same prize money as the bikini winner at a major show.
Yeah. No, I mean, how many shows have you been to? The top prize is like $2,000, $3,000.
Well, how many shows in IFBB Pro Bodybuilding give away $100,000 prize pool?
Not often.
No, I think, well, of course, there's the Arnold and there's Olympia. Other than that, does Steve's show give up? Steve's show may give away 100,000.
I don't remember what the New York
but it's
Pro was.
very, very few shows. It may give away 100 altogether because they have a lot of divisions. Yeah. But other than that, I don't think there's any of them. And here we are giving away $100,000 to these normal people who are making a huge change in their life. So,
and then I guess within each grouping, right, it's a point system.
Yes.
And that was awarded by the judges, correct?
Yeah. So what happens is you got Chad, you have Kenny, and of course you have Milos, and each one of these guys got points. So they have 15 winners, 15 out of the people that we gave them, and they get to give, first place got the most points and so on for down the rank. And we did the average of that. And then the cool thing is that fortunately, number one, the person who won first place got first place by 2 people, and then by the other person got 4th place. So there is a lot of consistency you would notice if you look at the ranks. So without further ado, let's please pull on one of our very famous and acclaimed judges, Chad NICHOLLS, the Diet Doc. Chad.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? How are you?
Good, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, I appreciate you being on big time, man. Thank you so much for being on. Chad, how many times did your wife win the Olympia?
4 times.
4 times.
Yeah, she won the Olympia 4 times.
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where she had accomplished what she wanted to do, and it was, when she got started, all they had was women's bodybuilding, and then she won 4, and then they kind of came out with fitness, and then they were going to introduce figure, and that was really more up her alley. She fought with being big, really, weight, and because even when she was younger, she had like an eating disorder a little bit, so the weight was always the toughest thing for her. Eating was always the toughest thing for her, so she was going to transition over to figure. And she even transitioned over to fitness, competed actually at the Arnold Classic in fitness, and took 5th place there in fitness. Yeah. And then she was gonna do figure, and then of course she ended up doing figure a couple times, but she got pregnant before the first figure one, and then everything became about being a mom after that.
Yeah. Was she a super athlete?
She was good at everything. She was a big track athlete. Matter of fact, she was so good at track, they would put her name, like they would use other names so she could compete in, because realistically you can only do 4 events, but they would use other people's names so she could compete in other events and stuff. I know she played some softball. She was just an all around like crazy athlete.
Chad, were you a good athlete?
I was, but I wasn't a real disciplined person. I was actually a motocross BMX kid. I played American Legion ball up until I was 17. I did a little bit of track. But I got to be honest, like I wasn't really a good student. I became very bored, and I had ADD. I like school bored me. And so like I was a very kind of not a great student at the time, and I was more of a motocross kid. Like that's what I was driven to do. And it's weird because I was actually really good at baseball, but I didn't really like baseball that well. But I was driven by motocross, and honestly I wasn't really that good at motocross. So
that's how it is a lot of times.
Exactly.
The reason I asked is because you have 2 extremely talented sons.
Yes.
And obviously that there's because I obviously have 3 little boys.
Sure.
There's nature and nurture, right? And so the nature portion, the genetic portion, is obviously really big, and then the nurture portion is really big. And there's debate on which is more important. But it seems like your kids are getting, because obviously you're both very involved in fitness, very involved in the industry, very involved in bodybuilding.
Exactly.
But you guys are both obviously talented genetically. How much do you think that plays a role into these guys? How much are you pushing them to do this?
We push. We're very pushed, but I never pushed them into the sport. I told them, like, look, choose what you want to do. And I said, I'm going to tell you something that I wish my parents would tell me. Find something that you love. And if you love it, then you will always want to do it. It will never be work. You won't have to be like, oh gosh, I got to go do this. And that's my youngest on the thing there. He loves training. Right now, life is football. Like football is life. And that's what he is driven to do. But genetically, he is just a different beast, like a completely different beast. He was strong from day one. And it's something that he does. He works super hard, but even if he didn't work super hard, he would still be crazy strong. But his work ethic is beyond.
Too, Chad, because you're doing.
Yeah.
You've hurt yourself, and you're still benching 405.
Yeah, like an idiot. Yes.
It's not like you're a weak guy. He has some genetic capability there.
He does. Like there's. I like to think probably he's got a little bit of genetics from me, but obviously mom's genetics are world-class genetics. And then her father was a football coach all of his life, and he was like genetically just crazy strong. And so I think just kind of a mixing pot of just gold right there. And so that with his work ethic, he's driven at everything. He's top of the class in academics, sports, like everything. He doesn't want to be like that average kid. He wants to be the best at everything he touches.
Look at that's Chad right there. Chad, how old are you? How old are you? I hate to say it, but how old are you?
53.
53. Look at Chad. 455 at 53.
Yeah.
Chad, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, this was peer pressure right here. They're like, go for it. I'm like, all right, let's go for it.
Gosh. I'd be scared. I'd be scared to even try. I'd be so scared I would hurt myself.
Yeah, it's the one thing that I can still do. So it's like, okay, let's do it, right?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
It felt pretty good to get under that weight, and then, of course, then you ache for a couple of days. But when you're this old,
pretty awesome. By the way, so my first memory of Chad, this is, I don't know if I've ever said that before, but my first memory, long before we ever met, I went to the Southwest Pro Show, which became the Europa show.
Texas, yeah.
I believe it was the first year that it was there with Ed and Betty Pariso. Mm-hmm. And I think you were there with King Kamali. And
probably.
I remember seeing you guys there, and you walked up, and of course you sat in the front row. And somehow I snuck into the VIP section, and I sat next to Sean Ray. And at the time, I thought that was really cool to sit next to Sean Ray. Now I'd be like, get this couple away from me.
I can't believe me and Sean Ray were sitting somewhere close together.
But you guys sat up there, and I thought, Jesus Christ, Chad Nichols is huge. Because
I'm
you're
trying to think.
big.
Yeah. I mean, at one point I was over 300 pounds, and it was funny because I got into bodybuilding, but I was a terrible diet. Like, I love to train, like, as you can tell, like, I love to go into the gym and beat up the iron and stuff. But when it came to being like very meticulous about the diet, like, I grew up on, my mom's homemade cooking of, just good foods like mashed potatoes and meatloaf and those types of foods. And so I wasn't the greatest dieter in the world. And Kim's career took off so fast, and she was just like very meticulous about everything. And then really I started researching nutrition because that was really, like, at the time, really interested me. And and then as I got used, and meeting a lot of the guys and stuff, I realized, like, man, there's a lot here that's not being done as far as on the nutrition side. And that's where I went. Like, I knew that genetically I was very limited on what I could do. I'm always a realist. I knew I could only go so far in bodybuilding. Kim turned pro, literally in 2 years. She competed in her first contest before she worked out. And so it was one of those things where I knew her career could go very, very far. And I knew that we needed a certain level of nutrition and all these things. So that's what I dove into. And that's what I ended up loving,
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I mean, my story was similar in the sense that I was realistic, and, like, there's no way I had the potential to be a Mr. Olympia or make money in bodybuilding. So
yeah.
We found, both Eric and I we found a way to make money.
Yeah, I mean, you're still part of the industry, and, like, being able to be around all of it. It's just like, bodybuilding, I can tell you, like, even if I would have been good, like, I would have been miserable because I was a terrible dieter, and I would have been like a miserable human being to be around. And so, but the other aspect, like, with what I'm doing, and then, like, with what you're doing, like, I enjoy it so much, just like I'm sure you enjoy what you're doing. And like, that makes it so much more fun as far as being, a part of this industry, and, being around the guys and being able to contribute in, a different way. So, yeah.
100%. So, Chad, obviously, there's a lot. Me and Eric were both excited to have you on, and we'd love to have you back on a future episode too, once this is all over, because we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of questions that I'm sure you haven't been asked before. We could probably do a few hours with just
absolutely. Yeah.
So we would love to have you back on, but we're announcing, Chad, something that a lot of people, we have hundreds of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands. It looks like we have hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
But we have thousands of people on live now, and I'm sure they're waiting to see where do they rank or who's going to win this thing. So you're now announcing the winners, the top 5 winners that are getting $2,500 cash and $500 in Redcon One products. But you also, by the way, voted on the rest of them. You're just announcing.
Yes. So I got 15 through 11. First thing I got to tell you is, like, man, this was really tough. Like, when you started breaking it down and looking at what these athletes had accomplished and how they had changed their lives, like, I literally went back and forth, and I'm like, no, I like this one. No, I like this one, but this one's done this. And, like, some of the stuff was so inspirational. Like, my first place person was instant. Like, the minute I saw that person, boom, that's my first place person. But, like, I went back and forth so many times because there was, I would see something in one of the athletes, and then I would get to another person and I'd see something else, and I kept going back and forth, and it was really hard to like come up with the breakdown.
Oh yeah, so, no doubt about it. You can imagine seeing thousands of them. You're like,
I couldn't even imagine, like, dwindling it to 15. Like, I would have went crazy because you feel like you can tell, like, these athletes have put so much into it, and they've literally changed their life, changed their body, changed their structure. Each one was a little bit different. You could see. I mean, it was really, really awesome. Actually, really good.
No, these guys, obviously, girls and guys, made a huge change in their life. And me and Eric, before we started the show, we went back and started clicking through everybody. And, for all the people out there that are watching, if they're one of the 15 or not, they don't even know where they're at. There's a lot of people that you could make arguments for being in the top 15. I mean, it's really a matter of opinion. And one of the things that kind of sucks for people on this, and maybe it's something we can do in the future for the next one of these big ones, is when you have thousands of people that enter, it's honestly a matter of opinion, where me and Eric saw people that were like, well, they should have been in it. They should have been in it. She should have been in it. He should, because there's so many people. When you click through, it's really, truly, like, you may look at Chad at the thousands of people and say, well, these 20 people should have been, above everybody.
In there, yeah.
Really,
I mean, the one thing that I thought would be really awesome would be to know some of the backstories of, how they ended up in a situation that they were in, and then what motivated them to get, and take this, challenge. I mean, I think that would be really unique, because you can tell, like in some of them, they just seem like, hey, they maybe were kind of going down a bad road, like how they ended up maybe out of shape. And then you could just tell the transition, the look on their face, like just the way they, like you could tell it was just a whole different person. That's the part that I loved about the whole challenge, like breaking it down and stuff. I thought it was awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. So Chad, let's go.
You want me to go? All right.
Go for 15 to 11.
You want me to just rattle them right off?
Well, one at a time.
Yeah.
So we're going to show
Okay.
the pictures and show them
All right.
before and after too. So,
So-
don't go too fast.
In 15th, we have Brandon Stoner.
So you can see the before and after of Brandon here. Brandon wins $2,500 and the $500 cash prize of Red Cow One products, and that's a big deal for these guys and girls because they all bought the products in the past. And you see Brandon showing off the traps in the after
Yeah,
picture.
I thought this guy was good because you could tell like he added like some really quality muscle to the upper body and stuff. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
14th is Philip Kiger. I hope I got that right. Kiger.
Yeah. So congratulations to Philip. I like this one. This guy, he definitely cut down quite a bit. He put on a bunch of muscle.
Has some legs on.
Yeah, can you show, John, can you zoom in on the quads and the after? Look at the quads. Got some separation. The only reason I know is because we looked right before. Yeah. He put on some serious legs. I need to do his leg program. All right. Very good.
13th is John Powers.
John looked like he was kind of like let himself go a little bit, and then he got back. I mean, he's like getting into bodybuilding shape, basically.
Yeah. You telling me he trained before probably, but just kind of maybe went away from it, and now.
Yeah. And you could tell this guy could be big too. Like you could tell he's like on a path where if he keeps this path going, like he could definitely be a monster.
Yep.
12th place, Terry Leeser.
Good Terry. So Terry obviously lost fat and gained muscle, and is winning the $2,500 and the $500 in products. Yeah. So by the way, I should say, Chad, that for people out there, these are not just Chad's top 15 to 11. This is everybody combined. Right. So it's not just Chad's. You're not going to see, Kenny Omega and Milos's. These are the combination of everybody together, and this is the average of their rankings. Very important to note. Go ahead, Chad.
And 11th place is Taylor Weir.
Taylor. Let's see Taylor. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Taylor took this super serious.
Yeah,
Taylor
contest tan, everything.
Yeah, he's ready to get on stage. This guy.
This guy impressed me because he really brought in his waist and the structure of his body completely transformed. I thought this one was a good one too.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that one.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey man,
Chad,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're gonna schedule you to come back very, very soon. The one thing I love more than anything else is stories. And you have a lot of bodybuilding stories, man.
Trust me, I can tell stories all day.
Oh, I bet you can. I'm sure I've heard some, but I don't think I've heard anywhere near all of them.
Yeah,
And
I can definitely tell stories.
That's the one thing that being behind the scenes in the bodybuilding industry is you get for me, like I had all these stories. I have probably only told a fraction of them, but I would tell more now because it's like ultimately it starts to matter less the further you get away from it.
Right.
To people like me and you and all the people, probably a lot of the people watching, those stories that people don't tell are invaluable. It's like,
yeah. And it's weird. For a long time, I felt like anybody that knows me knows that I'm a very private person. I don't really talk a lot. I don't really put a lot of stuff out there like that. And so I was very personal about that. I felt like those were things that I had, done with those people. And until recently, I just realized people want to hear those things. People want to connect with the past and kind of understand how maybe Flex Wheeler did things and how Ronnie Coleman did things and all of these different, aspects of, maybe good things with bodybuilding and things they struggled with bodybuilding and all that. So it's that would be awesome.
Personalities too behind everything. You got you also work with Nasser El Sambate,
yeah,
a whole slew of other people.
Tons. I mean, I had King Kamali and Craig Titus and at the same time. So, I mean, it's just craziness.
Yeah, you had a lot of, I mean, you did a lot of cool stuff in the bodybuilding fitness industry.
Yeah.
And yeah, people want to hear that stuff, and people want to relive it through your eyes. And I think that, like you said, I totally get being private, where it's almost like you're a lawyer or a doctor. But at this point, when you know, the further away you get from being there and those personalities that were involved in that, the less it seems like you're breaching confidentiality versus legacy. You know,
because just recently,
stories have probably gotten out there in bits and
just recently people were talking about. I've seen it a couple times now about when Gunther beat, you know, Ronnie, and I mean, there's so many like aspects to that, right? And I haven't really talked a lot about that. I've told a few little things and here and there, but you know, there's like so many things that led into that, and was very kind of unique and stuff. And so, you know, I was like rehashing it myself, thinking like, holy crap, that was such a cool time, you know, during the sport, and it ultimately ended up leading Ronnie to that 03 look, and like just when you think about all of it together, was kind of really cool.
Well, save it. Don't tell anybody, Chad.
We'll do it here.
But that was one of my first bodybuilding. Well, there's a bunch of them, but one of the first moments being, because I'm from New Orleans, right? I was there at the GNC show in New Orleans, and nobody was at that show. It was so weird. We were like, what the fuck is going on? Because there was like 200 people in the audience. I mean, there was almost nobody there at the show, which was so surprising. And so I had the tickets in the back. And then I just slowly moved forward.
I just kept creeping up.
I'm like, nobody's noticing. Go a little forward. And before you know it, I'm watching, you know, history where Ronnie Coleman gets beat by Gunther. And that was a crazy show. And I would love to hear about it, but we're going to save it for next time because I want to hear all the details, Chad.
Yeah, no problem, man.
We'll
do it whenever you want.
On the show, Chad.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. Thank you so much.
No, it was great. Thank you, Chad. Talk to you very soon. We're going to get Chad Nichols back on the show. You know, it's funny because we have back-to-back two guests that are fantastic, that have, if you're talking about stories, I mean, there's very few men on the planet that have more stories than Chad Nichols. And our next guest, who's going to announce the next one, is Milos Sarcev, was part of bodybuilding history from the late 80s, but early 90s, basically. We talked about
the heyday, the peak of bodybuilding.
The heyday where Milos's look. It's funny, I just talked about this recently with somebody, some interview or whatever. The look of Milos, if he had happened today, right now, it would be like, you know, he'd be up there for Mr. Olympia, which is so crazy to think, right?
Well, you think about it, like, remember, there used to be all the people that were tied for 16th.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look back at those pictures, most of those people look better than pros today.
It's crazy. Look at Milos. She looks fucking, everybody wants to look like that. That's the big thing. That's the thing that really that separates the old guard with the new guard. This picture right here, but it's also like desirability. So like, when I saw Milos training people at the Coliseum gym and doing those videos back in the day, I'm like, man, I want to look like this guy. But there's really I don't think there's any bodybuilder today competing where I'm like, man, I wish I looked like him, right?
Yeah, like him and Charles Claremont had two of the best physiques. Like,
yeah, and Charles Claremont got no love at all.
No, and he had one of I loved his physique. Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys like that. We were talking the other day about what was I'm like at a loss for the name.
Aaron Clark or Aaron Baker?
Aaron Baker, yeah, I was gonna say the gay black dude.
Aaron Baker, Batman.
Aaron Baker, I loved his physique.
No, he didn't.
And he got no love. And you're like, somebody like that, like, that crushes people now. Look at Milos. Unbelievable. I mean, he was crazy, man. So anyway, he's basically in this shape now, practically. Let's get Milos on the show. Here he is in real life, in person. There he is. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hi, Aaron. Hi, Eric.
How are you? Good to see you, buddy.
And thank you for inviting me for this. You guys know that Milos is always complaining about the judges, which is not true. And now I'm a judge. And this time I'm on this side of the judging table. I'm listening to Chad, and I did exactly the same thing. Let me tell you, I put my top 20 first, and then I eliminated 5. And then I said, let me go over. 3 times I went through it, 3 times I changed it. I mean, it was like so close. Now, I just want to clarify this one thing because, I said Milos is complaining about judging. Never. I complain about lack of comparisons, you see? And back in the days now, thank you, Eric, for saying that I'm one of the best with Charles Claremont, who is also one of my favorites. I competed in the 90s, and Aaron, you said I missed competitive years for 20 years. If I competed now, I would, fare better. But I was competing with Dorian and Nasser and Flex, Kevin, Sean, Paul, Chris, Lee. You tell me, right? So just to crack the top 10 was impossible. Yeah. But one thing that we had in the 90s was constant comparisons. So I never complained because I was compared, right? If I'm compared and I lose, I shake hands, there's no problem. The only issue that I had in the recent years is that the guys, and you guys know how hard they train, and they come to the show and that they get the one courtesy comparison. That's just not enough. This is still a sport, right? And sporting part is comparisons, competition. And I'm sure that nobody would have a complaint placing that last if at least they have that opportunity. So what I've seen this year, actually, there is more comparisons, and I pray to God that at Olympia, coming week from now is going to be a lot of comparisons, so we can actually see the competition. You guys are a fan of bodybuilding. Audience that comes, magazines, photographers, anybody there, what they want to see? They want to see as many comparisons as possible. Let's face it. Routines, yeah, it's entertainment and everything else. But even me as a bodybuilder, I would say I get bored, from looking at posing routines. I could never be bored with as many comparisons as you can give me.
Top six.
So
I think you have so many divisions now, and it's probably the judges just want to get people through as quick as possible. And before men's bodybuilding ruled, and
I think that's probably more true than people think, Milos, is that's exactly the truth. Is there's so many divisions, yes, so many competitors. There's more bikini girls than there were competitors in whole shows before when you were competing. So men's physique has got almost as many as bikini. So now you have in a pro show 600 pros versus just you guys, like 20 guys, and maybe 15 women. So I wonder if it's a time constraint thing where these judges are just wanting to get the hell out of there.
Yes, you see, right now you're playing the video from 1997 European Grand Prix Tour. It was a German show. And if you remember, 97, Nasser somebody placed close second to Ronnie Coleman, to Dorian Yates, right? And then here, Chris Cormier and Ronnie Coleman, that was compared to. Chris was 8th, Ronnie was 9th, I was 10th. That's 1 week after that show. We went to European Grand Prix Tour, and both Ronnie and Chris, in 3 out of 6 shows, beat Nasser, somebody who arguably could win that contest. So this leaves up, for a questioning. 1 week, and you can, from 10th place, beat the second place guy. Why? Because they were compared. So this is my only message that I want to send to the judges. Yes, there is bikini and 212 and physique and everything else, but allocate a little bit more time. Have it mandatory that the guys should be compared. And as you know, Chad just mentioned famous Gunther victory over Ronnie. I was actually with Ronnie after 2002 European Grand Prix Tour in Amsterdam. I saw him pose. For me, 2002 Olympia, he was smallish, not so convincing. And in Amsterdam, he was considerably better. So going into the show against Gunther at GNC, I thought that he's untouchable. I wasn't there, but I was listening to the comments. Actually, Sean Ray, that you guys mentioned, was live. I was listening on the phone when they announced Gunther as the winner, and audience went wild. But this is the only message that I want to say. Judging is super hard, and I've seen today, and I'm sure that some of the contestants that I judged today would have some complaints. Why did you see it that way? But I honestly consider everything. First, transformation. For me, I'm a bodybuilder, physique, contest prep guru. So of course, I would look for that crazy conditioning and all that stuff. But then I do realize that the average person, and our winners that we're going to announce later, had nothing to do with being actually even in the sports. The chosen winner, I don't think she ever participated in any kind of sport or did anything, and then decided in this rough times, in pandemic times, in being in a lockdown and all these adversities that we're facing, and they made these kind of changes. I am beyond impressed, and I don't know how many contestants entered, but just picking a top 15 was hard. And yeah, I think I did a good job. I had 3 out of top 5 winners. And I can tell you, 2 guys that placed in top 5, I eliminated myself, even though they're almost contest ready for the Olympia. These 2 guys, I'm going to have to say, I placed them 6 and 7. I took them out of the top 5 because they were too good, right? They were contest ready. And I said, like, okay, let me give a push to the normal people, to not competitors.
You know, and I think that's important, Milos. Obviously, it's good that you're able to do that, because obviously these guys and girls they're not bodybuilders. Some of them maybe, but the idea is that anybody could make the most dramatic change. And that's an important point, is that we're not judging the best physique like in a bodybuilding contest where you're comparing symmetry and muscle mass and condition. You're really comparing where they were before to where they are now, and the most dramatic change wins. So that is an important part. And for you, Milos, you're announcing 5,000. By the way, I was saying before, Milos, and you can echo this. Giving away $100,000 like this, there's not a lot of pro contests that do this.
No, let me tell you, you mentioned it, and it's unfortunately still that way. Since 1991, first show that I entered, there was 10,000 for first place, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. So if I would be lucky enough to be in the top 5, I could maybe possibly make 1,000. Your top 5 contest winners are making 10 grand just if you won Chicago Pro, New York Pro, Tampa Pro, doesn't matter. This is amazing, and I commend you guys for it. And of course, it's added incentives for those guys. And I hope you're going to continue, and a lot of people are going to realize, oh, this is for real. And let me put it this way: you can win Redcon transformation a little bit easier than win IBB Pro Show. It's going to get you 10,000 for the first place and only 4,000 for a second. Here, top 5 are getting 10 grand, plus the product. So it's amazing.
It may incentivize some of our top pros to get real fat right now, and then I might enter the next one. Yes, Milos, you really could. You get 100%.
Yeah.
If we do 100 grand instead of doing it spread out, we do 100 for the next one. It may make sense for you to get super fat and get in shape.
Okay, but let me say this publicly, because 1993, I did a Matrix advertisement, okay? And, they basically wanted to do the transformation, but I was always in shape. So when I was at that photo shoot, they said, okay, Milos, just make yourself look as bad as you can. Drop your shoulders, stick your stomach out, like make yourself look stupid, right? So, oh, shit, okay. So I did that, and then 10 seconds later, I did the, normal, front relaxed shot like I supposed to. Later, they used this 1 month later. It was 10 seconds later, right? Second and third. And then, third was like, 12 weeks later. But so on that note, I have seen some of the more experienced guys in your contest, and that's why I eliminated them from a top 5, because I know how I could make myself look bad. And contestants number 1 and number 2, they're both phenomenal, and I didn't put them in top 5. I put them actually 6 and 7, and I take my hat off to their conditioning and level of transformation they achieved. But I didn't consider them in top 5 because of that factor. I figure they know too much about how to present the physique, good and bad. So I took the people in consideration that they don't know these tricks. They don't know how to make themselves look bad. I don't want to sound bad, but they just look bad. And I commend them for the transformations that they made.
All right, Milos, with that in mind, 10th place, winning $5,000 for 10th place. That's more than an Olympia winner for 10th place, I think.
Yes. I would say James Bourdeau. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly.
That's right.
Bourdeau. Okay. And you see, I looked in every contestant mission. I actually had to, get the close up on this paper that they're holding and to see the mission. And for whatever reason, James put it top 15 and beat Mac. I don't know which Mac, but he definitely made a top 15. He went all the way to the top 10. And looking at him, I mean, what a tremendous physique. Thickness, muscularity, look at the chest, abs, shoulders, look at the back. Oh my God. So James, you already make a top 10 here. Continue with your transformation and showed up on some stage early next year. You have it what it takes.
Yes. And Milos in 9th place?
9th place, Brittany Hudson. I hope also I say this, Brittany Hudson. Now, her mission was to look and feel amazing. Now look at her, even her before pictures. Look at that smile. This woman is full of life. I commend her. I love everything about her. And then look at her transformation. Look at just how much energy she put into this posing. Her front double biceps, right? Transformation is amazing. Her waist came down, stomach is in, legs shapely. I mean, what a job, Brittany. Keep this shape and actually try to even improve it. And soon maybe we're gonna see on some catwalk.
8th place, Milos.
8th place, John Gonzalez. Okay. I was very much impressed with John. I actually have him even higher. His mission was to keep building muscle and keep losing fat. And he did both. This is what I'm always approached with this concept. Oh, you can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So you do, off-season bulk and then, no. You can do 2 independent processes, and you can build muscle if you know what you're doing and lose fat at the same time. And John did a hell of a job. I mean, look at this transformation. John, continue. You already seen what you have achieved. So just continue. Listen, we all start from somewhere. Like even Mr. Olympia, right, was a beginner one day. A transformation that you made already commendable. You made tons of money, so you can invest a little bit more in the right supplements, right? And go to the gym. I don't know if you did every day, how much cardio you did, but listen, continue what you're doing. You're on a path for greatness.
Yeah, so you're right. John came down a lot, and the cool thing is, he won 8th place, and ultimately, as much as he lost, he still has some ways to go to be in the shape I'm sure he'd like to be in, which is a cool thing to say, like, hey, he started way out there. He's already halfway there. He only has halfway left to go to be, in tremendous shape. So he's on the path, and Frank and John should absolutely keep going 100%, And in 7th place, Milos.
Okay, 7th place is one of my favorites. I actually placed in 2nd, believe it or not. Francisco Contreras, okay, number 20. I mean, really analyze these pictures. I mean, really, really analyze. So I figure, okay, he might have lifted the weights before, because you see that broad shoulders, wide back, and all this stuff, but he accumulated so much fat, right? And this was not pushed out stomach. This was just, hanging over, some 10 years ago Christmas party and accumulation lard he had. Okay, so sorry to be harsh, but Francisco, don't ever let yourself go in that direction. Seriously. Again, the goal was to build muscle and lose fat. You did both. As you know, building more muscle is going to give you more metabolically active tissue, elevate your metabolism so you can eat more calories. But already that back, look at the definition that you have. Triceps, shoulders that you're presenting right now. That's amazing. So Francisco, yeah, just off the record, I put you in the 2nd place, as high as 2nd.
He was great. I will admit, when you take a hard look at those pictures, I mean, he made some tremendous changes. He obviously gained a ton of muscle. He recomped tremendously, and the like you pointed out, his back and the midsection is like went from rotund to, you know, like significantly less. So he's moving in the right direction, right?
Oh yeah, and also too, a lot of his fat was visceral, so that's the dangerous fat, unhealthy.
Yes.
And so he got a lot of that off his core, away from his organs. So that's a good thing health-wise.
100%. Look, because of the readiness trials, he lives longer. I mean, then the whole readiness trials are worth it, just right there. So Milos, your 6th place winner. This is the top of the Milos food chain here. Even though it may not be the #1 guy you voted for.
6th place is Adam Marshall, number 6. And let me tell you, Adam, I had you 3rd. Okay. And definition that you displayed, it's reminiscent to Andreas Munzer, most ripped guy that I've ever seen. I mean, if I would have my Olympia competitors as ripped as you are, I would be screaming happy. I mean, this is not just good conditioning. This is great conditioning. And I hope Eric and Aaron, you're going to agree. I mean, if you really close up on those abs, close up on this Christmas tree lower back striations, my God, I mean, deep abs. And let me tell you, Adam has no idea how to pose. You know, if he would know how to pose, he would look even better. But just you know, pure fact of how much fat he lost, and his goal, mission was to lose fat and be healthier. So no question about it, he lost all the fat. Now, if my mom would be his mother, he would probably warn him, hey, this is not so healthy. This is too lean. But yeah, stay this lean. I would suggest, of course, increase the calories slowly. You know, put some more muscle, because I think you are ectomorphic, but you can build muscle, and that's obviously. You know, so shoulders, arms are there, right? You know, put some chest back, you know, in the plate, and you might be entering a different kind of contest soon, like men's physique.
I agree with you, Milos. He lost every ounce of fat he has on his body.
Looks like a machinist.
He looks like a machinist from the movie. Yeah, he looks Christian Bale. I would say honestly that he almost looks like a different person. If I were to see him in the street before and after, I don't think I would recognize him at all. He looks so.
Can I just say this? My girlfriend was watching this with me, and she was like, "This is not the same guy." So, they won't make that kind of mistake. It is the same guy. So yeah, absolutely. Adam, I'm amazed. And I'm not going to have a chance to maybe discuss the top 5 that you guys have it. They're all absolutely amazing. And I would apologize for #1 and #2 bodybuilder lookalikes that I didn't put in the top 5. And I already explained I didn't because they were too good, and I just wanted to give a chance to the average people. But conditioning wise, if I was their coach, I would be delighted with the progress.
That's awesome. So Milos, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for judging. Really appreciate it. And like we said to Chad, you honestly were not doing justice by having Milos on the show to just do this. No. We'd love to have you back on. There's so many things. And I've interviewed you many times way back in the day on Off Topic Radio, where I fell asleep because of taking pain pills for my dental work, all the way to Dave Palumbo and everything else we've done together. So I definitely need to have you back on, because there's a lot we'd like to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm available anytime, seriously. You know that very well. Like Chad, I will have tons of stories. And if I can just say one more thing, please, because it's about Kim Chajewski. So if you talk about the greatest transformations ever, I would say it's really Kim Chajewski first, you know, from not even training, going into winning the contest, and after a couple of years, you know, going, you know, to defeat, you know, unthinkably the best bodybuilder of that time, Landa Murray. I know that Irish Scott is now 10 times Miss Olympia. But then transformation, because there was no figure back in the day when she was competing. And then she decided to go down to figure. That transformation for me was the most amazing thing I have ever witnessed in my life. So kudos to Chad and to Kim. She went, I mean, how can you purposely lose muscle, still be feminine, you know, get into the figure with the muscle tone and shape of a figure competitor? And like I said, in the fitness, Chad mentioned here, she placed top 5. I never told her this personally. I was amazed when she was Miss Olympia, because I would say, you know, she would beat me in a contest if there was no gender. Muscle, shape. She was really that good. And then going down to what we're looking at right now, look at that. Tremendous figure, fitness competitor, streamlined. I mean, you would never guess that she could be as muscular as she was, you know, a couple of years earlier.
No, she was an absolute freak of nature as a female bodybuilder, and she was also a fantastic figure competitor, a really great fitness competitor. So it's one of those, and that was back in the day, and they showed it for a moment that the fitness competitors, that was when they wore the whole black like bodysuit thing.
I wore that earlier.
Yeah, you were wearing, you wear that around the office a lot, but so she wore it actually on stage and did the fitness routine. I've never seen you do that.
I can't anymore.
Yeah, so you're not as flexible. So she is an incredible athlete. It's probably why the boys, their sons or so.
The gene pool's good around there.
Very good, Milos. So we're gonna find a time. I'm gonna have Ryan. We'll reach out to you because we need to have you and Chad back again very, very soon, because there's so much cool stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. And you can do it also together. I'm sure that would be even more interesting.
That would be more interesting to tell the stories, because you both were there at the same time. We have a lot. That would be a very unique thing. And then of course, we're just showing your guy right here, Max Charles, who will be at the Olympia. And if he's in far better condition than this, there's going to be nobody better. I mean, even if he's conditioned like this, but far better, there's nobody going to be in better condition than that.
Yeah, I mean, first, I'm super pleased that you guys signed him up. He is super hardworking. As you know, he competed 4 times this year, repeating pretty much this kind of condition. And this is during pandemic. There was no gyms. The powerhouse gym Mecca of Beth Francis Vanderbilt gym was closed. So imagine he, getting this kind of condition training in a pretty much basement. So this time for Olympia, thankfully he had all the supplements and support from you guys. He's going to be about 6-7 pounds heavier and in this kind of condition. And I was mentioning before, right now, if you look, would he be considered possible first call out? No, on the paper, no. But that's if he gets a call outs, and then they really compare him with the top guys, let me tell you, it's going to be hell for everybody.
That's awesome. Well, Milos, thank you so much. I will see you. We'll both see you in Orlando. Coming up before you know it. It's unbelievable that it's only in like 8 days or something.
I know.
In Orlando, which is mind-blowing.
Then Christmas. And then
yeah, unbelievable. So crazy. Who would ever thought? Only in 2020, Milos. So we'll see you in Orlando in 9 or 8 days or whatever it is. And talk to 8 days. 8 days. Talk to you soon, Milos. Thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you for judging. Thank you, Milos. Okay. So now it gets really crazy. Not just because Kenny Omega's on the show, but also because we're going down to the top 5 and we're moving into the $10,000 cash prize. And of course, the $500 for each person in Redcon 1 prizes.
Yeah, I mean, you can think about that. 5 people walk away with 10 grand right before the holidays. Pretty nice little.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Honestly, it's a big deal. And, I'm excited for them, but then also a little sad for us.
I can't afford to get my hair done like Kenny's now.
Yes, no, Kenny's got the hair.
I know. I'm jealous of it actually.
He's got the hair. So
he makes Uncle Jesse from Full House look like dog shit.
Yeah, you're right. And honestly, if you were to get one like that, I mean, the king to it with what you got. So you're gonna have to get somebody who's willing to donate Kenny hair. And there's not a lot of people out there to get real.
I'm sure Ryan can find hair somewhere.
Oh, Ryan can always find hair. Not Ryan's own hair. No, you don't have the perm. You don't have the stuff.
Yeah, we need curly
on,
locks, buddy.
We need something more Kenny-ish.
Yeah.
Yours are just.
So it's funny. His name Kenny Omega. He's got hair like Kenny Powers. It's awesome.
Yes. So let's bring on, without further ado, AEW champ, Redcon 1 athlete Kenny. There he is. There he is.
Great to see you guys.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I must say, just being kind of a fly on the wall and waiting backstage, it's real fun to listen to all these bodybuilder stories and kind of hear the reasoning behind everyone's selections and to see the top 15 unfold. It's I've never done anything like this, and I mean, I had my own reasoning for the people that I chose, but it's so difficult to have almost no criteria. It's just who do you think deserves to be in a top 15 based on, not only how they look, but the lifestyle changes that they must have made. And there was not one picture that I saw in the rundown where I was like, oh, you blew this. Everyone did such a good job. I was so impressed. So regardless of the placements, I mean, everyone should be super proud of themselves. I was blown away today when I looked at the entrance.
That's cool, Kenny. Yeah. These guys and girls definitely put in the work, and it's never easy, especially for the people who are, and Milos brought it up, the people who are normal people that have never competed or dieted before to get in and make a change, because it's tough. Building a new habit you've never done. You don't work out, you don't do cardio, you don't eat right. You love McDonald's. I love McDonald's, but I don't eat it a lot, right? That's a rare treat for me. So if that's an everyday thing and you don't even work out, it's tough to make that many significant changes and change so many different habits in your life. And a lot of these people did.
Absolutely. And if there was any time when it would be more difficult to make a life change, it would be during the COVID era, right? Where a lot of gyms were inaccessible to people. You're just kind of fending for yourself and in terms of what you can eat and what you can't eat. It's almost what's available to you. And the places like McDonald's, Burger King, those are the places that are always going to be open. So it's easy to sort of fall into that trap rather than having what you need to make serious changes, whether it be equipment or food or otherwise. So these guys pulled it off in a big way, and especially the top 5. And I don't know who the top 5 is yet, but I'm kind of hoping that based on my judging skills, that some of the people that I chose maybe ended up there, because I don't want my first foray into the judging world be a complete failure.
Kenny,
that being said, a big congratulations to everybody, because that's a serious chunk of money that you can do some things with.
Oh yes. Kenny, do you have a black eye right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I knew I was gonna be on camera, and I started putting my makeup on, and I was on the air. No, actually, it was really bad, and now it's sort of at the process of healing, so it looks really goofy. It's kind of green around here, and then the blackness is still kind of there. But hopefully by, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, I'll be raring to go.
Well, Kenny, it's more realistic. You shouldn't make about the damage you've had based on you earned that, man.
I don't want to give people any sort of false hope that I'm actually a tough guy in real life. So I'll do my fighting in the ring, but after that, I don't want to be tough anymore.
Well, with that in mind, Kenny, we're talking about tough. These top 5 are very tough. The fact that they've gotten to this place against all these very tough competitors.
Yep. The punishment they put themselves through and the mental fortitude that it took.
100%.
Jeez Louise. Yeah. So let's get to it, because I'm excited to see it for myself too.
So number 5, Kenny, go.
We got Deborah Sparks in 5th place. And you know what? I remember I definitely recall looking at this picture, being incredibly impressed. I mean, you just look at it, there's a vast difference between the before and after pictures. You're listening to Milos talk about how it's sometimes easy to sort of fake your conditioning, to fake, to make yourself look bad on purpose. Beautiful woman here, obviously. And there is no faking this shot. You can't fake this type of shot. The results are there for you to see, and clearly huge change, getting rid of a lot of stubborn weight that is very difficult for all of us, and something that I can rarely ever do unless I'm on my best behavior. So congratulations, well deserved.
Yes, and interestingly enough, Deborah Sparks is the wife of former winner Michael Sparks. He won 50,000.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the day.
A little bit of coaching skills going on there.
They're making a whole career out of this, Kenny. This is like their life now. They're 60,000 deep in Red Con won prizes. So
yeah, they're sharking us here.
Well, we met her. She came to the office. We met her when he won, and she was very motivated. And I know Michael Sparks is one hell of a motivated guy. And I think that he told her, like, hey, we're going to do this together. I'm going to help you, because I know he helps a lot of people locally to get in shape. And he did a great job here. Like you mentioned, Kenny, there's no faking these pictures.
Nope.
She lost a lot of body fat to get in this kind of shape.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've been through a lot with his throat cancer. I'm sure
he had a lot of,
all her time and effort went into helping Michael, and then probably with the prep, and this was her time.
No doubt about it. So Kenny, 4th place.
All right, take a look at 4th place now. We got Josh McCarty. Oh yeah, I remember this shot again. Someone, I know how to relate to the situation here when you get that sort of the protruding lower belly. You know what I mean? And that's just miserable to get away with. So I was able to sort of empathize with the situation here, and then to see the condition he brought himself in. That midsection is tight. It's ripped. I had to give it up for the man. Got himself in fantastic shape. It's December, just in time to put up the Christmas tree. Look at that back. It's looking fantastic. And look at the tan. I respect the good tan. Every now and then, as much as these guys are making life changes, I get a little bit of muscle fever. So it's well-deserved 4th place.
Very good. Josh definitely looked at every aspect. And like you said, he definitely took care of the tan. He got everything together, and he looked great. 4th place.
He looked like a peak triathlete with that physique there. I loved it.
Yes, I agree. So it's interesting, Kenny. All 5 of these people get the same $10,000, but there is certainly bragging rights when you get into the top 3. It's getting top 3 out of thousands of people. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, the competition is heavy. And again, like I said, everyone here came here with kind of different goals and different things to accomplish. And it's just the magnitude of what they accomplished is sort of what separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. So I'm really curious to see who cracked top 3, and whoever did, I know that they made huge changes, because in my top 3, they were boys and girls that made incredible changes in their physique, and these people have all the respect in the world from me.
So Kenny, let's go to number 3.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There it is. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Matthew Fober. So yeah, Milos brought this dude up. I remember this. This is entrant number 1. Again, I said sometimes I come down with a serious case of muscle fever, and geez, Matthew Fober, I need to get my temperature checked. Take a look at this guy, shredded, absolutely jacked. I mean, it's tough for me. I made a balance so that we would have, different types of people accomplishing different sorts of things. And when you talk about looking like sort of a normal dude with a dad bod, turning into a guy who could walk out on stage, this is it. Not only is he shredded from the front, but you look at the back, he's got some grade A buff in the back. So looking fantastic.
I agree with you. Kenny. I mean, in the bottom pictures, Matthew, was pretty like normal, right?
Yeah.
He was normal. I don't think somebody who like works out on, a few days a week and like takes his fitness semi-seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Top ones, and he's basically like a men's physique competitor that's like not just like a local one, like maybe a pro one or a national level one.
Absolutely. Yep. Tossing some border shorts and he's there, man.
literally. So Kenny, let's go on. Let's hear number 2. Where we
All
going?
right, in 2nd place.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Stephanie. It's either Stephanie Hawk if she's French, Stephanie Oak. But my goodness, yeah. When I saw this picture for the first time, and I recall when I saw it for the first time, I was like, "Hey, this is either 1st or 2nd place. There's no denying it. I cannot imagine someone trumping this physique." You look at the before and you look at the after. It's like night and day. Again, just like our 5th place competitor, clearly, a beautiful woman here, and just now looking more energetic, more exuberant, just exuding energy, exuding confidence. Just looks like an athlete now. Looks like you don't want to mess with this girl. You don't want to steal this girl's purse if you're a hoodlum on the streets, because she would mess you up. Definitely looks like she took this competition seriously, and no one gets in the top 5 for free. She deserves every last penny of that $10,000. Such a great job. I'm so happy she made top 3.
Well, Kenny, we're sending her every last penny. That's for sure. That's for sure. And
much to your chagrin. Yeah.
She earned it. She earned it for sure.
Absolutely did. Absolutely.
So, Kenny, you have the great pleasure and arguably honored to announce the number 1. And this is the average of all 3 of you guys voting. Eric and I did not vote in this. Yeah, Ryan said you should vote, and I said nope. I will leave it out of my hands. Leave it out of Eric's hands. Let's leave it in the professionals' hands.
I'm excited. Got goosebumps.
Yeah, let's go.
Kenny, can you see it on the camera?
That's all here.
All right. Lay it on me. In 1st place, your champion. Again, the dollar figure doesn't change, but boy, a lot of bragging rights. Sarah Goff, or Sarah Joff, but Sarah Goff, and gee golly Goff, what a transformation. Like, you talk about from the front, from the side, from the back, it's evident, it's visible, you can see it. There is, again, like I said, you can't fake these changes. This is like night and day. It looks like, I'm not sure how long do these competitors have to make these changes? Because
12 weeks.
Some of these changes, like this looks like something that you would try to attempt, in a 2-year program. So to accomplish this in 12 weeks, incredible, amazing. I'm very happy that Sarah made first place. Again, much like our second place winner, third, fourth, fifth, every penny, every dollar earned. Nothing but respect. Not many people on this planet can hunker down and make these types of changes in such a short period of time. So everyone should be super proud. And of course, Sarah with a ton of bragging rights now and gonna go probably as the defending champion next year or whenever you guys decide to pull this off again. But boy, yeah, super exciting. Thanks for having me, guys. That was a lot of fun to call. And I'm glad I could contribute in some way.
You absolutely did, Kenny, and thank you so much. Yes, Sarah did a fantastic job, and as you can see, like Milos mentioned, a lot of people that were using this opportunity to make a change in their life. Obviously, Sarah was not a bodybuilder or competitor or any of that stuff. She used this as an opportunity and a reason to change. We had lots of good, out of the thousands of people that entered that we had pictures of, we saw people like Amanda Benton's ex-wife, Amanda Vassallo, who was fantastic. A long list of people that Eric and I looked at that were great, that you could have made arguments to be in this list. It's very difficult to decide.
That's why we stayed out of it.
Yeah, we stayed out of it because there were a lot. We had 30 that we showed you guys. And the people that we saw when we went through the thousands were like, oh my God, great. And they didn't make it. And that's not because we didn't think they were great. It's because it's very difficult to decide. And somebody like right now with Sarah Goff, she's not a bodybuilder. She's not going to win a contest. But she made a tremendous change.
Yep.
A change, like you said, that it looks like it would take years to do this. And no, she's not ready to do Bikini Olympia. No, she's not ready to do, whatever, but she is on her path to a better, healthier place. And that's really, that's it.
Say, the best part about all this is that, it's great when you see a guy who is able to go from, dad bod-esque to having a six-pack. That's great. I love seeing that. I love seeing guys put more meat on their back and their traps and their arms. But when you see a transformation like this, it's great to know that this person is genuinely healthier now and can live a better life. And that's always the best feeling, the greatest feeling, knowing that someone set out with a goal that was very hard to achieve and then they accomplished it. So it's fantastic.
Yes, totally agree, Kenny. And congratulations to Sarah Goff. Thank you so much, Kenny, for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Having you on, and obviously we also appreciate having you on Team Redcon 1, and we have thousands and thousands of people that got the Kenny Omega t-shirt and product, the Total War Kenny Omega. By the way, people love the flavor. Oh, you succeeded. Kenny was very particular about the flavor. He didn't just say, well, whatever you guys think. It took many iterations to get the flavor that Kenny thought was acceptable, and he was right. It was proven right because there's literally thousands of positive comments about his product.
Oh, no, it's just a great flavor. But Brian said he put his own tears in it.
Oh.
Tears.
Oh.
There's blood and sweat in some of them too. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes, yeah. Kenny
and the hairs from his chinny chin.
People are saying, Kenny, that it's the best Total War flavor in history. So
no, really?
There are people saying that.
People love it.
Ooh, gosh darn it. Okay.
It's not just Ryan saying that. There's other people.
No, actually, Vitamin Shop wants to pick it up.
Sign the dotted line. Set them up.
They want it as their next Total War flavor.
Yeah, so that would be very unique. Exclusive Kenny Omega Vitamin Shop Total War.
Great news. As long as people are enjoying it. Again, I don't care if my name's on it.
You can put the logo underneath.
Yeah, I don't care if my name's on it or whatever. It's not about that. It's about people enjoying the product, enjoying the flavor, seeing results. I just wanted it to be a legit thing that people could use and they would feel like they'd pick them up, knock them upside the head like a V-trigger would, Even if they don't know what a V trigger is, who cares? I just wanted to say, hey, V trigger is a great flavor. And when I tasted it, I loved it. When I was in the gym, I felt it. So onward and upward. Great news, though. I'm so happy.
Awesome, Kenny. Thank you for being on the show. And once again, wonderful hair. Eric's never going to get anything like that.
No.
There's no
I
price
can grow a beard like that, though, so I'm jealous.
Yes. Kenny, thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate you being part of this. And I can't wait to have you back very soon. Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys. And congratulations, everyone.
Bye, Kenny. Thank you. So, Johnny, instead of going to commercial break, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, and we're gonna finish up the show because there's something very important to announce to everybody who's watching still.
Yep.
You know, anybody who's watching still, yes, there's still a lot of people watching, and those people are probably wondering the internal readiness trials. So we had 9 people finish. We had 20-something people start. And that's usually how it goes. And Eric brought up in the beginning that we didn't want to give money away to people if there was going to be nobody competing. So we're not going to give a winner to somebody there's 2 or 3 people against. It's bullshit. So 10 people, right? We said 10 people had to do it. At 9 finished. And we said, you know what? Don't want to be that particular. We're going to give 9 is enough, right? We have 10 now.
We did get 10. Oh, we got
who's the 10th?
Snuck in.
There's 10.
Okay, go through the pictures.
Another
Let's
criteria.
Go to the pictures. Go, Johnny. Go.
Go, Johnny, go.
So I only had 9 pictures, I thought.
Yeah.
This is Denley, who's in the video department. Denley made a big change. You can see the top pictures versus the bottom pictures. A lot of people did this. Denley is one of the people that went from going to the gym once a week to going to the gym every day.
Yep.
He obviously took the diet seriously. He took things, he said like, hey, I'm not going to mess around. And one of the things that Denley used to get made fun of in the office, which is not very politically correct, but people said, maybe Eduardo, said he had boobs.
Man boobs.
Man boobs. It was something that was said occasionally, not by us, but it was said. And I'd probably hurt Denley's feelings a little bit. It always made me feel a little sad for Denley. And Denley went to the diet pretty damn serious. I don't know if those comments or what.
I've seen him suffer through the office. There's a birthday party here every other day.
Yeah, they're literally
cake
every other day, at least every other day. I mean, there's birthday parties all day long. It seems like every day somebody's saying happy birthday, everybody's clapping. I'm like, what the fuck's going on now?
Uber Eats pretty much has a fucking station outside.
I don't even come out of my office now when there's birthdays anymore. Like, a birthday is a cake. I'm not going out there. Because it's too many. You'd be like,
literally all the time.
So Denley did a fantastic job. Skylar, who runs the events. I love how you put the peach over the butts. Peach over the butts. It was Ryan who made the peach over the butts. It's hard to tell her condition, Ryan. I'm not saying take the peach off the butts, but yeah. Anyway, he's being appropriate. I appreciate you being appropriate. Skylar decided to wear a thong, which maybe less, maybe more of the peach is appropriate. I understand. But Skylar also did a fantastic job. Skylar had never dieted. I don't even know if Skylar
She didn't really
worked
work out at all, yeah.
No, so the before shows you that she had good potential because the fact that she had relatively small waist, basically, she had good size, shoulders, good legs, not holding a lot of fat, and basically not doing anything for exercise other than just not overeating, and she transformed into a figure-esque shape, super small waist.
And being around Rudy, who's the fast food king.
Yeah, her boyfriend is Rudy, the social media director who eats, junk food nonstop. He is 295 pounds of pure junk food. So very not that much body fat for the pure junk food diet, but he does certainly not contribute to a good dieting lifestyle. So
some big lifestyle changes here.
Yes, very good. And she got a tan. Let's go to the next one. Marcos. So if you take a close look at Marcos here, you'll notice that Marcos is dramatically changed. So his waist is down, his muscles are up, shoulders are up. He was at the gym quite often. Yep. Look at the waist in the middle picture. It went from pretty big to almost none. And then the back fat went look at all the folds at the top one and then the lack of folds at the bottom one.
Yeah, and I'm impressed by that hat too. I'm just,
He decided to wear the hat because he was like, don't take me seriously. I'm not in shape. And then the next one, he's like, look, I got a spray tan.
Especially too, because he's wearing a lycra short. So I'd push everything up in both pictures. So it's pretty equal to equal.
So what's the thing? What's that circular thing?
It's because he's holding a piece of paper and he printed it in black and white instead of color. And that's the logo of that, So it looks like he's holding up a bow and arrow target.
Oh, like a hologram or something. The bottom ones. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Marcos did good.
He did do good. You could tell here he did really good. Next one. Okay. So he transformed a little bit. Give him a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Only I'm more
He
impressed by the farmer's tan on his legs.
He has kept that though. He kept that going for the next picture.
And if anyone doesn't know Harrison works in our QC department in the warehouse, and so holds all the retains, does all the documentation, and he's in the gym every night. I see him every night at the gym.
He is a good worker, but I don't know about the transformation. Maybe he gained a little muscle, a little bit. He got a little leaner, gained a little bit of muscle, but not like Denley or not though. Keep going. All right. Now, also in the actual customer service department.
Yep, Davin's in customer service. Used to work at the gym originally.
Yes, and he is better, but marginally better. You know, a little less fat.
Yeah,
What?
He wanted to grow.
Yeah, he added a little bit of muscle.
Yeah, you gotta get muscle. Yeah, look at the triceps and the shoulders. If you look from the side, you're holding up if you compare up top to the bottom, you can see, look at the triceps and the shoulders, rear delts. He's got rear delts now. He shaved off all the hair on his belly. I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
And his legs look definitely bigger for sure. No doubt about it. He's got more quads. And his back, he actually has some lats now versus before where he was kind of,
like,
shaped.
like
Yeah. And
triangle shape.
Like a tower. Like a tower. And now he's got like
this.
It's more V-shaped now. Yeah,
reverse V.
Yeah.
Reverse V taper.
Let's go, Johnny, to the next one. That's him, the same one. Christian in the actual dev team. Christian lost some fat.
And he lost some color from the before to the after.
He got less tan. He did a reverse tan.
He reverse tanned.
He did a white spray. I don't know what you call that.
Pull the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he pulled
motherfucker.
He dipped himself in, what did that shit that Michael Jackson did? He dipped himself in something in the bleach. He actually looks leaner for sure in the second one. But I got to say, between me and you, Eric, and everybody else watching, I don't think he made the changes that some of the first people made.
No.
He took it semi-serious. He was like Davin, but a little bit less, but almost Davin. Okay. Next one, Johnny. All right.
Chris from the warehouse.
Chris, he's leaner. You can tell if you look at this midsection on the top versus the bottom, the after picture. He is leaner, and he put on a little bit of muscle for sure. A little more shoulders. He's got a little wider in the back, a little smaller in the waist. And we'll see where he gets on the rankings. Next one. Cass is in the customer service department and also in the wholesale customer service department. Yep. You can tell one thing for sure is Cass lost some body fat and definitely is posing way better. Not only less body fat, smaller waist. You can look at her lumbar above her peach, whatever. That sounds even weirder. Above her peach logo, infographic or whatever. What's it called? Emoji. Yes, her emoji. That's way better. You get to look at her lower back and tell like she is pretty dramatically changed. And then from the side,
her jaw and chin too.
Yeah, her face looks much different. She obviously took it serious. Looks like she put on a little muscle, lost some weight. Let's go to the next one, Johnny. All right. Now this is Troy Farmer's. I was about to say daughter. Troy Farmer's sister, farmer sister. And she works in the actual e-com department upstairs on the third floor. She's working with Kyle Pepe, who was not in this one. Kyle Pepe definitely lost some weight during this transformation.
Kyle Pepe dropped out.
He would have been good before. Kyle Pepe actually got in crazy shape before there was even a contest. And he needs to get back because he could probably win the next one.
Oh yeah, I mean from where he goes now, he's got a lot of room to go.
Yeah, he could be like he was like
you heard it, Kyle.
Fred. Yeah. Go back. Don't worry about us. Go back to her. Let's go back. So she made a really, really dramatic change. So if you look at her legs, right, in the front facing picture, you can see that as they would call it, the thigh gap, would you say they call it? Her waist is way smaller from the front, from the side, and from the back. She put on muscle. She has definition now. Her legs are way tighter, and her legs were not tight before. It was one of her better parts in the before picture, which she significantly tightens up, and her arms back everything is a big jump.
Yeah, lost a lot of weight in her core. You can see it in her,
Her face too.
Yeah.
Her face too.
I think she was down over 40 pounds.
Wow. And
So-
she did a great job. You know, it's interesting where she's at now and the after. If she were to continue on, you know, she could. I mean, who knows where she could be on stage with Troy.
Troy competes.
They could do like a couples.
Remember when they used to do the couples?
Mixed couples. I love
competition?
that. I thought that was super cool. They don't do that anymore.
No, it hasn't been for years.
Mixed couples, they would do a bodybuilder and a bodybuilder girl, and they would pose together. Maybe they could bring it back.
Johnny, you want to help with that?
I said yes. Okay, go to the next one. All right.
Blake?
So he did great. Now the problem with Blake is that Blake was already really lean. So he was really pale, but he was really lean.
Yeah, Blake's in good shape.
He's always been in good shape.
Yeah.
So he went from being in good shape to really good shape. And I see him in the gym working out. He takes the gym very serious. I see him at the Red Helmet gym.
There's a lot of
And
functional stuff.
A lot of functional stuff, a lot of one at a time, balancing on one leg stuff, on the Bosu ball or whatever. And he has, it worked for him because look how great he looks. But if you look at him before, you look at his pecs, he has zero fat underneath his chest, on his underneath his nipple, on the top of the chest. There's nothing really going on there. He went from like lean to super lean. So unfortunately for Blake, that hurts his chances of winning because he was already really lean. I think his before picture is leaner than anybody else's picture after picture.
Yeah, no, he was in great shape.
Great shape. So let's go to the next one.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
So,
Go ahead, Eric. Tell me.
so as we
Just
said,
say what the job. Well, how do we decide?
how did we decide?
No, like because it was supposed to be one person.
Yeah, so it was originally going to be one person, and just because, again, we felt like so many people had actually like listened to what we said, so they've had at least have 10 people do it. Want to make sure that we split it up a little bit, so we decided to go with one male winner, one female winner,
Yes.
and it was roughly equal amount of contestants from each side. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure both were represented.
Because we didn't get to 10. If we would have got to 10, I think, and I don't, by the way, Johnny, I don't think that was 10. Go back again. Johnny, go through them all real quick. I think that was 9. I didn't see one person that I didn't expect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, he's right. 10.
Yeah.
10. Wow. Okay.
Well,
We're still splitting it
5 and 5. It's kind of like the restart trial, though.
Yeah.
Split up the prize instead of, so that multiple people had a chance to win. So 2 people before the holidays would get a nice little payday.
I mean, $5,000 is a huge deal.
Yeah, $5,000 is a nice little chunk of
Huge
change.
deal because we've never done that before in any respect for anybody who competed. There's never been anything like this before. This is a first.
Yeah, no, I know. So that's the thing. It's like, especially too, this time of year, it's a great time to win that.
And they're all getting Christmas bonuses too. So I mean, like this is like,
It's a double.
I feel like I already kind of did it. I mean, anyway, keep going. So we got 2. You want to tell the guy and I'll tell the girl?
All right. So
They're on the same slide.
I know.
Oh, okay. We'll just say it and then
So
we'll do
I'll
it.
say it. He'll say it. And then
Should
we'll
we say
put
it
it
at
up.
the same time?
We do just like 1, 2, 3, and then you talk.
We'll just do it at the
Okay.
same time. We'll
So just reveal it, and then we'll talk. I'll talk
No,
about.
you go first, then I'll go next.
All right. So
I'll do the guy. You do the girl. I'll do the guy. I'll do the guy because it's easier for me. You're better with girls. All right. You ready? All right. All right. So for the guy, it was not that difficult to decide, to be honest. We had a lot of great guy competitors. We have a lot of great employees here at the Red Helmet office. 2 of them did it. Marcos is fantastic. Been there almost since the beginning. We had a lot of other guys that were great. Davin went from the gym to the office and succeeded at both places. But the winner for the guys was unequivocally Denley. Denley from the video team has been here for almost as long as Ray. It was Ray's first hire, I believe. It was Ray's first hire. Denley works his ass off as an employee for Red Helmet. We didn't factor that in. We're looking strictly the fact that he built muscle, lost fat, trained very hard. And to be honest, this was difficult for Denley. This was not an easy thing. Denley is a junk food addict. He likes to eat junk all day, every day. He's the one that orders, crap from Uber Eats usually. And he stopped all that. He was the guy that would come to the gym once a week with Ray, when Ray forced him. And he'd be like, I just work out once a week.
Yep.
And that'll never do anything. And he changed his whole attitude, whether it was from Uber Eats to training every day to taking it seriously. And he deserves the $5,000. I'm proud to give it to him.
Well, especially again with the number of hours they work, that's a big lifestyle change to then start going to the gym on top of it. So yeah, it's a big change.
Big time.
So female winner. Again, it could have gone to anyone, but what we looked at is really the sheer volume of change that someone made. So, you know, that's what it was about, right? Like true transformation. So each of them had their own transformation in their own right, but for us, the female winner is going to be Carly. And again, when we looked at the pictures again, it's so much weight that came off her core, out of her face, and she really, you know, made a full lifestyle change. Same thing. She's in the gym every night. She's still going.
Yep.
Her routine hasn't changed. She still keeps pushing it. Not saying that Skylar or Cass don't, but you know, again, it was like a true lifestyle change that's like set in, and she's continuing it. So that's really kind of why we went with both of them.
Yes.
Because they both made big lifestyle changes.
So that is unbelievable news for the two guys and girl, the guy and girl that are here at the Redcon One office. I know they're going to be very excited. Our holiday party comes up not tomorrow, but the following day, and they should celebrate a little extra. We'll have to mention them when we get up to the podium at the holiday party to talk about the two transformations, along with all the other success stories from this year at Redcon One. We've had a tremendous 2020. When a lot of people had really tremendously bad, understandably really bad 2020s, we've had a really good 2020, and it's worth celebrating for sure. And so, come this Saturday, we'll be celebrating.
Oh yeah,
and I plan to have many vodkas, but not too many vodkas. If Dariel's watching, not too many vodkas.
Yeah.
Many, but not too many. And it was going to be a great time. We're really, you know, this is the first time that we've had a party, Singer Mania / this time Redcon One party. They're all really seeing me at Redcon One party, not at my house.
Yeah,
so we're
that's
doing
somewhere
it at an
else.
event center because there's too many damn people.
Well, last year we did what? Wow, the country club.
Yes, that's right. No, it was my birthday was kind of the last one. We didn't really do a Singer
The
Mania.
country club was
No.
the country club smaller, and then the massive birthday.
Yeah, because it was
remember?
only Redcon. We didn't do a Singer Mania. So
Yeah, it was
Singer
just
Mania is usually bigger than the
right
company
because
party.
your birthday party. We ended up doing the Redcon One.
Yeah, so many parties. My birthday party is so great that such a great like event. I mean, not because it's my birthday party. I'm just saying I was like, it was such a fantastic, like Dariel and Eduardo did such a great thing. I loved it so much, not just because it was me, but because it was fucking awesome and people loved it. But this year we went bigger on the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
Well, my birthday, Johnny's laughing, but I turned 41 in January. There's going to be no party at all. So, you know, we're spending everything.
Listen,
and
after
putting
you're
all on this
7,
one.
it really doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 40 was pretty big. I mean, we did it pretty huge.
I don't think I did shit for my 40th, really.
No, most people don't, but I decided long ago we're going to go big, and we certainly did. So,
Listen, if I make it to 60, I'll celebrate.
yeah, 60. How about 50? 50, you're almost to 50 now.
Fuck, I know.
Just
I'll be
kidding.
44 next year.
Yeah, you get plenty of time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. Obviously, it's much different than our normal show. Next week, we have the Olympia show. And, you know, honestly, we probably should have recorded with Chad and Milos about the Olympia before they went. But anyway,
I'm going to do it during the week.
We'll have to do it during the week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in again. And we will be back.
Congrats to all the winners.
Congrats to all the winners. Congrats to all the winners. Thank you. And good night.